Welcome everyone to Rival Esports. I am your host, Vaudable, here with Shope and Hunted, and we are bringing you the first half of the broadcast of the Rocket League Spring Series North American Closed Qualifiers. Try saying that 10 times fast. It took me a little bit to get that on point. But we have some amazing matches and a lot on the line for all the players that are competing in all these games that we're going to have on broadcast. Most of them are going to be qualifying matches if we can help it, but the first one we have up, talking about some upsets getting to this point, we have Jamal Jabari, and they are facing off against an amazing team in Rogue that took down E United in 5 games. But to get to that point, how do we have this team instead of Cloud9, Hunted?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. Jamal Jabari took down Cloud9 a couple of rounds back in 4 games, so perhaps the last-minute sub hurting Cloud9 a little bit there, but either way, they took that momentum, took down Stromboli, which I think surprised a couple of people as well. I know that Stromboli looking pretty good yesterday coming into today. Didn't expect to see them drop out so early. But you know what? That means that I think Rogue's going to have their hands full here as Jamal Jabari is taking down team after team. And why stop at Rogue? Why not qualify through the upper bracket going through 2 RLCS caliber teams?
Yeah, of course, Jamal Jabari has been looking really good even coming into this. With the skirmishes, they did really well in their performances there. Kind of came out of nowhere, not a team that was in the rival series last season, but a team, that has some players on it that have really shown up when they've had the opportunity. And they're making their name today to show that, hey, they're going to do their best to get to that top 8 spot to compete with the best in the world in a big event.
And it's going to be such a big event at that. $125,000 on the line just for North America alone. EU also has that much. We already saw what happened in South America and also Oceania. 4 regions competing in their own individual Spring Series events. And for North America, it's not just getting into the next stage of this, which will be happening on the 25th and at 26th of April this weekend. They are going to be joining G2 Esports, Vanguard, formerly known as Ghost, Space Station Gaming, and NRG, the 4 teams that make it from today's closed qualifiers on to the actual Spring Series itself. It's going to be an amazing Spring Series at that, and all of these matches, they're going to have lower brackets, so we're going to see some spiciness going up down there, as we have so many teams that people expected to see in these first winners round qualifying matches. Pittsburgh Knights, they're also down. They lost to Charlotte Phoenix, and a lot of teams in the RLCS, they have kind of failed to show up in this event so far. Anything specific you can say on to why that might be, Hunted?
Well, it's kind of one of those things when it comes to these tournaments. I don't know why that's a thing in Rocket League. I mean, you think about like those DreamHack qualifiers, and I think there's a little bit less on the line for those and a bit more here. But you think about those qualifying tournaments, and it always seems historically RLCS teams just seem to struggle for whatever reason. Maybe they just haven't been playing in these tournament settings for a while, and the teams that are beating them have been. But yeah, I mean, it's a surprise to see Cloud9 get taken down. It would be a surprise to see Rogue drop here as well, but I don't think it's as big of a surprise as a lot of people might make it out because, again, as Shope said, Jamal Jabari has been playing very well up to this point, and obviously they can hang with some of the best teams in the game right now.
Yeah, they definitely can. And, going back to your point about the teams that are not RLCS often showing up in this, I think there's just a little bit more fire there, because once you get to that RLCS, you're a little protected. You've got that insulation of not, besides the couple of teams having to risk it dropping in the one automatic relegation. So, you have that insulation. But these guys that don't have that, they get that opportunity to take, some blood off a team that is already established and up there. And, I mean, it would light a fire under me, I know for sure, to have that chance.
And that's what this is all about, giving a chance to those outside of the rival series, outside of the RLCS, to try and prove themselves. We've seen a lot of teams that have made their moment in these kind of tournaments, and all the dream hacks we've had in the past, where teams just show up out of nowhere and take down the top contenders. And now we're going to see if Jamal Jabari can take down Rogue. I kind of want to hear your predictions before we send it off to you to give us a little bit more information about these two teams. Do you think Rogue are going to take this one in kind of an easy 3-0 sweep, or do you think Jamal Jabari, since how they have been performing so far, taking down the #1 seed going into these closed qualifiers in Cloud9, are they going to be the ones to take this victory here?
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting no matter what, because this is one of our first opportunities to get to see this Rogue team with their new lineup, at least with Turnturo in the lineup. Kenobi first killer and Turnturo taking the field for Rogue today. And, you know, they've had a pretty clean bracket up to this point. Of course, they took down E United in the last round and went to 5 games, so you know that they've at least been feeling it a little bit here today. So I don't know. I really don't think it'll be straight games. I don't think Rogue, even if they win, will win in 3 straight games. But to your point, you know, I think Jamal Jabari have had a great bracket so far, but I just don't see Rogue giving up the opportunity to qualify straight through here. I don't think they want to play any more Rocket League tonight if they can help it. So, you know, I'm going to go with Rogue in 4 games. Like I said, I don't think it'll be a sweep, but I think Rogue will handle their business here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will not be a sweep, and I do think Rogue will handle their business. You know, we talked about Jamal Jabari looking good, but Rogue has also looked really well. They've performed in the tournaments leading up to this, some of the you know, not as official things going on, and they've looked really good in the offseason, and Rogue is a team that can typically do that. You know, they may or may not have their best game all the time during the RLCS season, but when it comes to the offseason tournaments, a lot of times they show up and they can take some names and do really well, and they've been on form. Particularly First Killer's been really on a different level of form lately, and I'm looking forward to see if that continues going, and if that works out, you know, with Turnturo seeing this new lineup.
And that's what it's all about, seeing how this new lineup performs against some of these teams, if they're able to live up to the hype of getting Turnturo on their roster. A lot of people believing he deserved that spot in the RLCS. Now he is there, and he's going to have to prove himself against Jamal Jabari, taking down Cloud9 earlier on. I'm still going to give it to Rogue, like you said, Hunted, and also Shope. It just isn't enough that we have seen from Jamal Jabari. This might just be kind of them popping off a little bit and then starting to sputter out at the end of getting to their qualifying matches for the actual spring series itself. So I'm going to give it to Rogue. Most of the people in chat kind of agree with us so far, but we'll see how things go, as I'll leave it to you guys to take it into the match.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Vaudible. We are just about ready to start this best of 5 to see who moves on to that main bracket. Again, almost all, if not all, of our matches here on Rival Esports will be qualifying matches, so make sure you keep it here. This is our first of the night, as it looks like the players are taking the field. We've got Rogue in blue, First Killer, Kenobi, and Turnturo in orange, Jamal Jabari, LJ, Spider, and Toastie. Can the underdogs pull it off? They took down Cloud9, they took down Stromboli, and they look to take down Rogue here, as they're going to get the first opportunity of game 1. But Turnturo quickly back the other way. The double touch, it's just saved by Spider. Kenobi will follow, and that one's wide, but this one will be pushed home. First Killer coming through, 1-0 for Rogue.
This is exactly how Rogue wanted to start off this game, and they want to play. Rogue's the team, especially with Kenobi and First Killer, that like to push up the field, that like to play aggressive and cut on the balls early, and you're seeing that right there, getting that good kickoff and being able to put the ball away when they have Jamal Jabari on their back foot.
So as you said, prime start for Rogue here early on game 1, and now the boys in orange going to have to play uphill to start things off here in the series. We'll see if they can do it, as First Killer is going to play that all the way down the pitch. LJ back wall defense. Here comes First Killer again. That's towards the cage. No problems for Spider, trying to take his time. Turnturo is going to cut that off, though, as now Toastie is trying to do what he can to get the ball out. Just about the first minute gone. Rogue already on the board, looking for a second. Kenobi fires and scores. 2-0 for Rogue.
And this is just great positioning from Kenobi right here. He's going to back out, but he sees the Spider's beat right here. He's just got LJ, so he cuts on this ball and is able to put it high over the top and into the back of the net. Great shot from Kenobi right there.
Not even a minute in, already a 2-0 game here for Rogue. And Shope, these teams, long days of Rocket League the past couple of days, specifically for Jamal Jabari, having to play through some really quality talent. Their first game on stream here today, as this one's going to fall for First Killer to play. You know, it can be very easy to panic in this situation, as Spider will send one back. What a save from Kenobi, going to keep them off the board for now. I would love to see the orange team not panic, try to put a first one on the board, and they're doing a great job here.
Yeah, they are. They're keeping this pressure up right here as they get some more shots towards the net, keeping Rogue on their back foot. But like you said, and it can be a little bit wearing on you, especially with the amount of talent they've already had to go through, going through Cloud9, going through Stromboli, taking a little bit, of a faltering start here, but here they come into it as LJ comes up over the top, gets a little help with the demo, and the ball going into the back of the net.
Yeah, this is smart play from Spider. Knows he's got Kenobi cornered. Beautiful demo, and LJ, as you said, over the top. That'll be the first of the series for Jamal Jabari. 2-1 to 3:25. Left to go here. Game number 1. Again, this is a best of 5. Every match today will be a best of 5. As first killer quickly towards the cage, and he'll pick up his second. Rogue take back their 2-goal lead.
Yeah, again here, this is just Rogue being really fast. Kenobi gets a nice high touch. First killer's got one to beat, and he puts it in a spot that's almost impossible to get to, just over the top of Toastie. Great shot from him, picking a spot there.
First killer and Kenobi combining for 3 goals here early on. It is a 3-1 lead that they do so enjoy. First 2 minutes. Game number 1 gone to the wayside. Toastie trying to put one home. Net is open, and that's a follow-up goal. Great response here from Jamal Jabari. We're back to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, it looks like every time that it looks like Rogue's starting to pull away from this and get these shots, Kenobi and First Killer seeing that chemistry that they have, Jamal Jabari answers back. I mean, still keeping this a 1-goal game. Besides the kickoff goal at the beginning, they've really been very close to Rogue here, and it's these midfield battles and who's winning them that's, putting who's on top right now.
Midfield so important in a high-speed game like this one. As first killer looks for the deflection, couldn't find it. Kenobi gets bumped by Turinturo, and he'll still manage to get back and play that one away from Spider. Close call there for Rogue. Nearly a tied game now. Crow doing his best to try to get this back down the pitch. First killer going to challenge. Spider, no problems. He'll play it out of his own corner. This is down for Toastie. So he'll get it back to midfield. Turinturo just trying to buy some time here for Rogue. Give them a chance to recalculate the offense. As a couple of giveaways from Rogue, a bit uncharacteristic, as now Spider, he's got a prime opportunity, but Turinturo's going to turn it away. And my goodness, it just seems like Rogue happy to give the ball over, and Jamal Jabari nearly taking advantage there.
Yeah, Rogue looks like they're thinking a little bit too much about how they're going to get into offensive position and kind of forgetting about the defense on the back end, as Jamal Jabari almost steals one right there. But now a little bit more pressure coming on from Rogue right here, seeing if they can get something going in this front half.
Good bump there from Toastie to take Turinturo off the ball, and it will fall down to LJ, though he can't get it out. Good block from Spider. We'll get it back to midfield. Now LJ cuts off the pass. This is back wall territory for him here. Falls down. Nobody getting the touch. Spider is there, and Kenobi another save. He's already got 3 in the game. All 3 have been very important to keep their 1-goal lead intact, as first killer just trying to keep the pressure on the orange side. It's a back and forth game. 1:20 left to go. Only 1 goal separates these teams, as LJ is trying to pop this one through. He'll get by. He's got Kenobi on the back foot, and it's another save from the veteran here. He's continuing to play the defense for Rogue. First killer just doing his best to get the ball out, and my goodness, Jamal Jabari really taking it to Rogue right now.
Yes, they are. A lot of threatening shots right here on the net, like you're saying. And Kenobi has, he's known as the mountain, but he's been the wall right now for Rogue, keeping the ball out of the net. But we'll see how long that lasts. Just under a minute to go left in the game.
Make it 45 seconds exactly. It's 3-2. Kenobi looking for a double, not going to find it. Spider trying to get by first killer. He's got Toastie in support. They're into the blue zone, but Turinturo will make it for only a moment, as LJ now trying to go by Kenobi. This will pop up. 30 seconds left to go. Toastie wins the challenge. First killer's there to stifle him at the line, as Kenobi again looking for a touch. Great time management now from Rogue. Again, the ball kept in by first killer. 15 seconds left to go. Here comes Spider. He's by Turinturo. Kenobi just going to take his time. Trying to waste these last 8 seconds now. Off the back wall. This will pop down. LJ can't find the challenge. And this is going to put Jamal Jabari in a tough position to keep this one going. It's down to Spider. Over to LJ on the half wall. Back towards Spider, but first killer is there. And Rogue, they hold on, taking game 1, 3-2.
Yeah, I really liked what Rogue did there at the end of the game. A lot of times you see teams with a 1-point lead and they'll back off and they'll think, time's on our side. We need to play defense. But you see Kenobi right there with about 20 seconds left going for a bump in the net because he knows if he can throw the back man off his line, he can waste just as much, if not more time, as if he's going back and doesn't have to play off his back foot. So that's a veteran move from Rogue right there, knowing not to let up their pressure, but still to play safe. As you saw him later, just adjust and take it up his back wall when he had the ball in his own half. So you're seeing that veteran play from in front by Rogue and by Kenobi. So I'll look forward to seeing that go as we go forward, if they can get a good lead, being able to keep it.
Well, they managed to maintain that 1-goal lead for a majority of the game, and it felt like Jamal Jabari, they had the pressure needed to try to equalize, but after a couple of chances, it felt like Rogue really hunkered down a bit there on the defensive side. Again, we talked about Kenobi. He had 4 saves in the game and a lot of defensive plays there. We'll see if that keeps up. But going into game 2, Jamal Jabari going to be down 0-1 here in the series. What do they need to do to break through this Rogue defense?
Well, they need to do exactly what they did right there when they had a couple of opportunities that they were scoring. They have to win these midfield battles, and they cannot let the chemistry of First Killer and Kenobi, which we have seen already, take over. Turinturo kind of playing, I don't want to call him a non-factor because he's doing his job, getting out of the way and letting Kenobi and First Killer do their thing. But they have got to win these midfield challenges and keep the pressure up that they had towards the end of the game.
Well, first 10 seconds into game 2, Toastie might find an opportunity here. He'll get stopped in the corner by First Killer. This will just pop up. First Killer popping it for Kenobi. LJ back through midfield. Spider and Toastie looking for a bang play there, and won't quite find it, as this is Turinturo all the way back down the pitch. 30 seconds gone. No score. Game number 2. As Rogue trying to extend their series lead. This is LJ through mid. Kenobi's going to have to make the play. It's out towards Toastie. He fires and scores. Jamal Jabari first on the board here in game 2.
And again, we're seeing this, winning this ball in the midfield. It's up mid. No one from Rogue is up for it, and just getting to it quickly. LJ, the pass on the backboard to Toastie. There's not much Kenobi can do there. He's in a rough spot. He has to save it the way he did, and a good finish coming in from Toastie right there to take the lead.
The script kind of flipped on its head a little bit here. We saw Rogue out to an early 1-goal lead in game 1. Now they play from behind. We'll see how Jamal Jabari do with their first lead of the series as LJ tries to muscle his way towards. It's First Killer to deny him. Now Spider going to have to rotate forward. Kenobi, the touchdown to Turinturo. And it'll bounce its way back. Kenobi trying to make something happen here, but the defense is solid. Jamal Jabari finding the clear. 3:40 left to go, game 2. Still that 1-goal lead. First Killer has other ideas, but he's got no support as he breaks into the zone now. As Rogue, they haven't really been threatening so much here in game 2. It's been pretty much Jamal Jabari maintaining the pace of the game, and I don't think that's really what Rogue want. They want to play quickly. They want to play with speed, as that is a great play from Turinturo to completely shut down my idea of them not playing quickly.
Well, this is right here. This is what Rogue has been able to have. They've had a lot of solo touches where they've been able to follow it up themselves, and I was going to say they've not been able to find their teammates, so that's something they're going to need to do. But Turo taking the words out of my mouth, thinking, listen, I can do this myself, and comes around that ball and gets a nice little flick on it up to the top of the goal.
Well, it'll make it 1-1 as the first 2 minutes come and go here in game 2. Spider all the way down the pitch. Turinturo up for it. Toastie should be there. The touch is right down to Kenobi, who will clear it back. Important game number 2. Rogue would love to extend their lead to 2 games in the series. As Spider and company, looking for their second goal of the game here, would love to see the series tied heading into game 3, as now First Killer just off the back of LJ there. Turinturo rotating forward. Spider's going to get the better of him. As it's now Toastie towards the back wall. Bouncing out. LJ shoots and just off the post. But Turinturo, an unfortunate touch, and it's 2-1 Jamal Jabari.
I was going to say I might need to look at this one again. I think that Turo just accidentally got a touch off this. Yes, he did, to redirect it into the net. LJ picking a good spot there, going all the way across the net. That was the most open spot on the net, getting a little bit of an unfortunate, but at the same time fortunate post bounce to go right into Turinturo to bounce back into the net.
So the orange side finding the lead exactly at halftime. 2-1. We'll see if they can hold this one a little bit better than they did earlier on here in game number 2. As Toastie looking for LJ down in front. This is going to come off the back wall. You can't get the double touch, but Toastie will fire and score. Kenobi not up to the task this time. It's 3-1.
And here again, we're seeing this pressure from Jabari that they show flashes of in that first game that we've seen a little bit more of in this second game, turning on these balls quickly, playing it to the backboard, keeping Rogue kind of on their back foot, out of the play, making it hard for them to recover to it, and putting away their shots, which is the key, because even if you can create those opportunities, if you can't put them in good spots, they're not going to be goals.
Certainly the shooting has been a bright spot here for Jamal Jabari in game 2, though they've registered 8 shots on the board. They've only scored 3. Not a terrible shooting percentage. I'm sure they'll take that, as LJ would love to create some more offense here. That's a great touch. It's just a bit high. Going to force Kenobi into an awkward spot, but he gets it over to Turnturo. They will find the ball back through midfield. 90 seconds left to go. Rogue down by 2. Can't quite get the offense going, though, as this is a giveaway from Kenobi. LJ going to play it off the back wall. Toastie rotating back to try to stifle the attack here. And really, it feels like game 1, but the teams are reversed as Kenobi will score. First killer on the pass, and we find ourselves in a 3-2 situation again.
Yeah, right there, it looked really good for Jamal Jabari. They were cutting on balls really quickly and being aggressive in Rogue's half. And for a minute there, it was working. But then we see the downside to that. Rogue gets past one of the defenders, and then they have a great play from First Killer to have a solo chance and give it to Kenobi as Turo almost scoring again here. Ball still dangerous.
This will fall down to Kenobi, who will score, and the defense can't hold on. 3-3, just under a minute left to go. And Turnturo, he had a shooting opportunity, didn't find it. He follows it up with a beautiful pass. And now Rogue, they put themselves in a great position here, Shope, to take this one.
Yeah, that's at least the second kickoff goal that we've seen make
it
3 from Rogue, at least that I've counted in this series. They're just winning these kickoffs, man. What can you say about it? You've got to have a little bit of a better kickoff discipline if you're Jamal Jabari, because you just gave up 2 goals in a row on a kickoff, and that's something that you can't do if you want to take down an RLCS caliber team like Rogue.
Well, unfortunately, that second kickoff far more egregious than the first one. Spider not even getting a touch, as here's Kenobi looking to extend the lead. Double touches there. There's the hat trick. And it's 5-3. It looked so good, but just like that, 4 unanswered goals for Rogue. And they look to take a stranglehold here on the series. 5-3, 48 to go.
Yeah, it's so shocking. I mean, like you said, they had a 1-goal lead. They'd given up a goal from First Killer and Kenobi, and they think, we've got to settle down. We've got this, no problem. And then 3 kickoff goals in a row that they give up, and that's just got to take the wind out of your sails right there.
It will definitely have to be a response from Jamal Jabari, if not in game 2, at the very least early on in game 3. We need to see them get off to a hot start there. This could be a very short series. This is going to be First Killer trying to waste the rest of the time. Only 15 seconds left. Still 2 goals required from the orange side. LJ no touch. Kenobi will play it back in, and that should just about do it here, as we're going to move into game number 3. Rogue surviving a close game 2. Beautiful play as well to cap things off 6-3. But again, it's almost like Rogue and Jamal Jabari just played 2 different games in game 2. The first 4 minutes, Jamal Jabari playing extremely well, keeping Rogue on the back foot, not letting them get anything going. The last minute, completely different. It was all Rogue all the time.
Yeah, it really was. And like you said, it really was a tale of 2 halves, basically, there. Up until about that second half, Jamal Jabari was just, they had the strategy. They were cutting on balls early. They were challenging Rogue in their back half, and it made Rogue look uncomfortable. And then really all that happened was Kenobi and First Killer broke through one time. First Killer has an amazing pass off the ceiling to Kenobi, and then Rogue just capitalizes on kickoffs, which, can be unfortunate, but do have a lot of skill to him. all but really one of them, which was the spider one, preventable balls that go to the side or up high that Jamal Jabari had a chance to save. So it's just unfortunate. I mean, you've got to have a little bit more discipline. You look to see them take a little bit better kickoff angles coming into game 3 here, but you still got to feel a little bit good with yourself here, Jamal Jabari, because they were in a position to really take that game and do well. I mean, up 3-1, then up 3-2, but still, not a lot of time left, and we'll see if they can keep that confidence going forward.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they would love to recreate the start here in game number 3 as they had in game 2, but the ending is going to have to be considerably better, unfortunately, there, as they find themselves now backed into a corner in this winners semifinal. Again, the team who wins this one qualifying for the next round for the main event. So Jamal Jabari would love to be able to finish their night off strong, but Rogue taking it to them. First 2 games going the way of the boys in blue, and they're looking to clean it up here. We are underway. Game number 3, turn Turo over to first killer. Toastie's there to break that pass up. Kenobi is looking for a touch. Now LJ one-on-one, but first killer quickly to that challenge, not giving any room.
Yeah, very speedy play from first killer right there, taking the ball, then going for the demo. A lot of pressure. Didn't have any support in his half, though, which he's going to be looking for going forward. A lot of times it's been Kenobi giving him that support a little bit far off the play there.
This is back down to turn Turo. Quick transition, and he scores. Great pass, Kenobi to turn Turo. It's 1-0 for Rogue.
Yeah, this is a great clear off the back wall, Kenobi, and he angles it the way that he sees Turo. That's a veteran player right there to get out there. And Turo, to already have this chemistry with Kenobi, to know where he's going to put that ball and to be able to slot that one away, it's already looking good for this new team composition here for Rogue.
4:12. Time on the clock as Rogue up by a goal here. This will bounce out. Turn Turo was looking for his second. Couldn't quite find the angle. First killer is going to follow that one up. They're going to put space between the 2 squads early on here. This is going to be LJ trying to play this down to Toastie. Spider is there. He's got an open net, and he goes bar down. We're tied.
Yeah, and again, this is what Jamal Jabari has done good. Toastie right here adjusting, throwing himself in front of the net. Then LJ doing the same thing, just leaving it wide open for Spider. And when they've been able to gain ground in Rogue's half, they've been able to put away these shots. And it's just getting there. It's just winning their midfield challenges and their defensive half to get the clears out to each other to run a transition has been the weak point.
Well, they've capitalized on said weak point here as it is tied 1-1, 3:35. As LJ back wall score. Beautiful double touch, and Jamal Jabari out to their first lead of game 3.
And yet again, we're seeing the transition game from them has been good when they've been able to get powerful high clears to each other or out to the sides to each other on the ground right there. LJ with a great finish off the pass, off the back wall. And that's what you want to see from him. Glad to see that confidence.
We'll see if that keeps up. They've managed to come back here. They took an early hit on the scoreboard. Haven't let that phase them as they're able to tie it up, find a lead of their own, but still plenty of time for Rogue to battle back. This is going to be Toastie. He's got Spider there. He'll go off the corner wall, gets the double touch. Toastie ends up getting demoed by first killer. That's going to take a little bit of the wind out of the sails of the offense here. That's now Kenobi towards the back wall. No touch. First killer rotates forward, fires. Toastie's there on the save. And now turn Turo. He'll pop it up to himself over the head of Spider. He's got 2 defenders to beat. Not quite able to do it. This should be an easy clear for LJ to Spider. They've even got Toastie in transition. Quick shot. No problem for first killer on the goal line. But you love to see that. I think that's one of the things that separates the good teams from the great teams, able to turn clears into offensive transitions, as Jamal Jabari just did there.
That's exactly right. Being able to run that when you know that team is in your half because they were just on offense, being able to get back on them quickly and put that ball towards their net when they've probably only got one person back on defense is where you're going to be able to get most of your goals at high level.
Well, here's Spider taking a shot that's just high. Now first killer to Kenobi, and they'll fire back. We're tied at 2.
What an adjustment from Kenobi right here. Gets caught upfield just a little bit on this challenge, and instead of just panicking back, he sees and trusts that first killer has this touch, turns to the middle, and is able to get that redirect right on the net. Great shot from Kenobi to tie this up.
Couldn't have asked for a better picture there of what we were just talking about, turning defense into offense. Rogue, a team that has been so very good at the transition game for quite a long time, able to make it work here again. As now Kenobi looking for first killer. Not quite able to make it work. 1:45 left on the clock. LJ will send Rogue packing for the moment. Spider will keep it in as well. A turn Turo. Slowly out of his own zone, looking for Kenobi. Toastie's in the way. Final 90 seconds. 2-2 tie here in game 3. Jamal Jabari just trying to keep their winner's bracket hopes alive. If they can find the next goal, they very may well force game 4. But an unfortunate bump's going to send Turin on his way. That's just high. First killer. The follow, he hits the post. That was the chance for Rogue, and they can't turn it home.
I was about to talk about how beautiful a shot that was from first killer going to that bottom corner right there, but just gets unfortunate on that post. But Rogue is feeling themselves right now. Every touch is finding a teammate. And we're going to see if they can keep that up right here in this last minute. As they do, this one falls from Kenobi to first killer off this corner. And just like I said, Kenobi to first killer, and first killer follows it up himself and puts it away.
And you talk about passing plays there. You said that Rogue were finding each other. This time it's first killer finding himself. Great use of that corner wall, and he'll knock it home. That could be the killer here for Jamal Jabari. They need to find a goal, and they've only got 50 seconds left to do it. Playing out of their own zone. Toastie to LJ, can't get the touch. First killer around the sidewall. Bit of a double commit there. They've got to be careful, though. Spider will be the first one to it. Not the greatest touch. It's going to be Kenobi out to midfield. LJ's going to stop him there. 30 seconds left. Toastie over the head. Spider is there. We're tied again. 3-3, 27 to go.
And that is just some veteran presence from a team that is relatively new, keeping their head in this game after what looked to be kind of a blow that would take a lot of teams out of their element from first killer, and just keeping that pressure up. A great 50 in the middle of the field from LJ just started that entire play, and they put it away, as Jamal Jabari have done this entire series when they've had the chance.
That is Spider's second of the game. Couldn't have come at a better time for the orange side. We now look to potentially overtime. Final 10 seconds here in regulation. First killer showing off his air dribbling skills there, but now here comes Jamal Jabari. Toastie one-on-one. He splits and scores. 2 seconds left, and we might see game 4.
Yeah, and this right here shows why sometimes air dribbling is not the play you want to go for in this high level of Rocket League. First killer does take it over across the field and wastes a lot of time, but that's all his boost. And he ends up in the half of Jamal Jabari, and that allows Jamal Jabari to take a transition goal right there and get basically a one-on-one play because he took himself out of the play. Great. I want to talk about the touch, though, from Spider off of the block of first killer. He came in really quickly and played it off the wall, and that led to that transition. So really, really good stuff from them to take that game.
And that will keep the series alive for Jamal Jabari. 2 seconds on the clock was all they needed to pot home that game winner. And not only does it keep their series alive, but I think it keeps all of our predictions alive as well with that. But, you know, it's, again, teams like Jamal Jabari historically would have folded after that kind of crushing loss in game 2. And you've got to give it to these players, not letting that affect them, keeping their momentum going, even going down early in game 3. They came back. They forced a couple of great plays from Rogue, and it just wasn't enough for them. So now we go into game 4. You know Jamal Jabari's got to start to feel something here. And now I think the ball is firmly in Rogue's court to respond.
I think it is. And Rogue was playing well, and that's something that I'm going to give to Jamal Jabari is right there with about a minute left. Rogue's passes were all going to each other. They were touching the ball to each other, and that is a strong position to be in with that much time left in the game. But Jamal Jabari, they didn't care. They let Rogue take that lead, but they didn't panic. just like they didn't panic after game 2, and they were able to bring it back, stay calm, and win their challenges and win the goals. I mean, 2 good 50s ends up being great goals from Jamal Jabari, and they take game 3.
Well, here we go. Game number 4. Will we see a 5th game in the our first winners quarterfinal of the day? We've got another one pretty much immediately after this one as well. So make sure you keep it here on Rival Esports, as we have been in for a treat for this first game. I think Jamal Jabari, regardless of how this one ends here, Show, I think that they have proven that they can hang with some of the best teams in the game. If taking down Cloud9, taking down Stromboli wasn't already proof enough, just hanging here with Rogue, forcing a game 4, potentially a game 5 if they could take this one, you've got to give them some props for that.
Yes, and they have looked very, very strong in certain aspects of their game. Their transitions, when they've been able to get them out, have been strong, just like this, with a threatening chance here, just going a little bit wide. And their ability, when they've had some pressure, to be able to slot away the goals has been good. It's just been a little bit on the, when they have to transition back on defense, they've been a little bit weak. And they've been a little bit weak just on the defensive back end in general. But overall, they have performed very well.
We'll see if they can keep that performance going for at least this game and potentially a game 5 if they can force it. We have no score here in game 4. About a minute 20 gone off the clock as LJ, he's trying to play this out in front. Toastie's there as Spider lurking. He will wisely turn away as Kenobi plays this back down. Now Spider out of his own corner. Turn Turo. Keeping the ball in. LJ off the back wall. Now Kenobi, he'll fire a pass all the way across. Turn is there. First killer again. Just waiting. Trying to find any kind of space. Nobody wanting to overcommit here. Give up that first goal. That's not the greatest pass, though. LJ will take a shot, but it's Turn there to make the save.
Yeah, LJ taking a shot right there. Not the worst decision in the world. Had a decent shot at the net. One that's never going to go in, but you're kind of hoping that the save there is not as good as it was from Rogue, that goes to a bad position. Unfortunate for Jamal Jabari that Rogue was, experienced enough to deal with that well.
Looking for those rebound plays, certainly a strategy a lot of Rocket League teams, especially at the high level, like to employ. It's hard to beat the defense on that first shot. Didn't quite turn out there for Jamal Jabari as halftime quickly approaching here in game 4. Still no score. First killer, he's got a chance against Toastie. The bump is there as well, and first killer first on the board.
First killer's got ice in his veins right here. So he sees Turo on the wall, not even a chance to go for a bump yet. Here's LJ coming behind him, and he still waits just enough time for Turo to be able to make this bump demo play in front of him to clear out the net and give him the shot. Not panicking there. Great stuff and great calmness from first killer.
That will break the deadlock as halftime comes and goes. 1-0 for Rogue. Turn Turo looking for a second. That one's just not quite angled well enough to find the back of the net. Now Toastie will transition. Good clear there from first killer, but 2 orange players surrounding it, though. The touch from LJ. Going to give a free clear over to Rogue. Now LJ has to go up and make the save. Spider not able to get to that one as well. Now Turn Turo starting the offense yet again. Kenobi, no touch. Toastie, he'll play it back down to Spider. And we've got a minute 50 left to go. Jamal Jabari trying to maintain their winner's bracket run. They've got to score a goal here to at least tie things up, potentially force overtime. Might be able to do it there, but first killer, great job getting back. LJ quick shot and first killer again making the save. Still Toastie up. Spider opting not to go for it. Hedging his bets for later on, trying to open up some kind of space. There it is, though, and Spider will score a perfect play, 1-1.
And this was a ball that I thought might end up being saved. LJ didn't get as much power on this as he'd have liked. Turo had a chance at it, but Spider adding just enough power, going 72 miles per hour on that one into the back of the net. Great just backflip from him, just touching it the way he needs to get it under Turo.
Ooh, maybe a kickoff opportunity, but Spider, I think he got bumped there. Solid defensive work, but they're not out of the woods, are Rogue. They've got to play defense with low boost here, as this is Toastie trying to keep things going. Kenobi, no touch. First killer will rotate forward. Jamal Jabari playing a little bit cautious now, not wanting to give up another goal, as that was close. LJ able to make the save. We've got 1 minute left here, Shop. We're tied up at 1. Do we see overtime in game 4?
Actually, I don't. I think one of these teams isn't going to break through here. They've shown the ability all series. This has not been a particularly low-scoring series. There has been plenty of offenses. We see a threatening shot on net right here. But I'm thinking somebody's going to break through.
Well, we've got 40 seconds to find out who that is. As Spider trying to get by Kenobi. Will fall down for a turn to play out of his own corner. LJ going to challenge him there. Back over to Kenobi, who just sends it forward, looking for the double touch. Spider. He gets up quickly enough to play that one away from Kenobi, and Toastie will find the full clear now. 20 seconds left. LJ, back wall. Spider might have an angle. He does, and Jamal Jabari break the tie again. This time, 15 seconds left to go.
Yeah, there's just been too much action in the last minute in all of the games of this series for me not to believe that this is going to happen. With Jamal Jabari coming in quickly, Spider reading that ball from a mile away, getting through that quicker than anyone on the pitch. And with 14 seconds left, Rogue is going to have to do something if they don't want to get to a Game 5. But I think they might have it in them.
Final 8 seconds. They're in the offensive zone, but Spider winning the challenge. There's first killer. Great pass to turn Turo, but Spider again in position. Now the touchdown, and we've got a Game 5 between Rogue and Jamal Jabari to see who qualifies for the main event. And when we started this, I don't know if anybody predicted a series going quite like this one has.
No, we both thought they'd at least take one game off of them, but I didn't expect them. I expected them to take the early games. I thought they would maybe catch Rogue off guard, come into the series, take a game or two off them, and then you'd see the RLCS level team that is Rogue make those adjustments, because that's what really separates those top level RLCS teams from the bubble teams, is the ability to make in-game and in-series adjustments. But the team that's done that so far is Jamal Jabari. They've weathered their storms and they've taken their chances well, and they've brought themselves right back into the series.
And it's important to note too that in both games 3 and game 4, games that Jamal Jabari have had to win, they started down a goal pretty early on in both situations. And we talked about the poise required to come back and not get inside your own head, not let Rogue run all over you once they find that lead. They've done it twice now, and that's got to be kind of scary if you're Rogue. Normally, this should be a pretty clean series, but they're getting their money's worth here.
Yeah, and they're doing a really good job of putting these balls in the spots that make it awkward for Rogue. And you're seeing a lot of trust from Rogue when they go on offense, but a couple of times on the back end, we're seeing them double commit or people jump balls that maybe are not theirs, getting them out of position and allowing, say, Spider to come over the top as he did for that goal with 15 seconds left, as Rogue ends up not quite in the right spot. Here is the ball's going to go in off Kenobi. Unfortunate start for Rogue.
And Toastie will pick up the credit for the goal. It was a pass from Spider to Toastie. First killer making the initial touch. That's an unfortunate position there for Kenobi. And you mentioned Spider, and I really did want to talk about him. He had both goals for Jamal Jabari in that last game, had some important goals in game 3 as well. You talk about stepping up when your team needs you. Spider has certainly done that, as he will get the first assist here in game 5 on Champions Field, as Rogue trying to avoid the upset. Jamal Jabari trying to cap off what has already been. I mean, you cannot take away the day they've had, even if they drop this game 5, but they're trying to cap it off with a bang against Rogue and qualify for the next round.
And I mean, what a series if they would be able to do that. A day for them. Cloud9, Stromboli, one of the strongest teams in the rival series, and Rogue back to back to back. I mean, this has been a gauntlet for them, but they do not look shaken, taking a 1-goal lead here in game 5 against Rogue.
First minute in the books. Game number 5. Turn Turo. He's going to play that off the back wall. LJ. Oh, he might find the pass. Toastie nearly there, but first killer just a bit better of positioning. Able to find the save, as now Kenobi back into the orange half. He'll get a touch. First killer a little bit too aggressive there, unable to find the touch. Now turn Turo towards the cage, and that's a second double commit from Jamal Jabari in the past 15 seconds or so. They're trying to weather the storm. This is going to be Spider nearly getting bumped from behind. Got dunked by first killer, but the ball wide, as now LJ in transition. This is going to bounce out. Toastie has a position on it, looking for the flick. He's over. First killer, but not by turn Turo. We stay 1-0.
Yeah, right there. That was another threatening opportunity in transition. Rogue cheating upfield just a little bit too much right there, getting on their back foot in transition, but able to weather that one as the shot goes a little bit high. Ooh, Kenobi with a chance right there and just putting it off the crossbar. Close, but Rogue still with the pressure in the corner.
Yeah, 3 minutes left to go, and it is worth mentioning too, Shope, we haven't talked about it too much, but the winner of this one guaranteed a $13,000 prize. This is a $13,000 match.
When you put it like that, it just means a whole lot more, man.
And to be fair, the loser will, of course, still have an opportunity to qualify in. I think there is some prizing for people who don't necessarily qualify as well. So these teams, I believe, are in the money. As Turo towards the net. Good play from Toastie. But either way, a lot of money on the line, a lot of opportunity on the line. As now Kenobi off the back wall. Spider is going to flick this one by. And now Turo. Flip reset over to First Killer. As Kenobi trying to find some kind of touch. And before we go a little bit farther, I do want to correct myself. Only teams that qualify, Shope, are in the money, as Toastie nearly had a giveaway there.
Oh, this is tough. This is going to be high. But Spider, the speed again, man. We've seen the speed on offense, but there's the speed getting back on defense, preventing a goal for now.
This is Kenobi off the back wall. LJ able to find some space with that demo. This is a good pop-up. Spider's last back. He backflipped as well, though he's in a decent position for the challenge. Turo trying to take his time. Can't get by Spider. Two wonderful challenges from the orange defender. He's going to make a save here as well. Sends LJ on his way. Screaming down midfield. Can Turo turn this one around? Not quite. Toastie, he's going to pop it up, and time ticking away from Rogue. Only a minute 20 left to go. Still needing to find this first goal of the game to tie things up. Toastie threatening the goal, but First Killer, solid positioning, but that time ticking away.
Yeah, time is starting to run down, and it's looking like Jamal Jabari is keeping their composure right now as LJ gets a decent touch. And Spider challenges early, but now this is going to be tough. Kenobi's up just a little bit too far. He's not able to turn on it yet, but First Killer, decent shot, but good save from Toastie high to give himself some time to recover.
Solid save, and that'll bring us to 45 seconds left. LJ in the blue half. This one's brought out in front. Kenobi will play it off the back wall. Turin winning the challenge there. Spider over to LJ. Transition play. Is anyone back to save it? Yes, First Killer just barely, but Spider will go off the bar, and still the ball stays out. It's still a one-goal game. 20 seconds left. Now turn in First Killer. It's over to First Killer. It's on goal. It's saved by Toastie. And it'll be cleared down all the way back for a goal. Have they done it?
I have never seen such back and forth play in my life. Spider just missing a shot off the crossbar, and it looked like they got caught out in transition. A great pass to First Killer that is just barely saved to the doink from Spider. I mean, what a back and forth play right there to give Jamal Jabari what looks like maybe an insurmountable lead. 10 seconds left. Rogue's going to have to do something quick.
Unbelievable. 5 seconds left to go. That touch will do it. Jamal Jabari will reverse sweep Rogue to qualify for next week, or for the next round. Not to mention that $13K guaranteed prize for this team. What an unbelievable day. And to cap it off with an absolute gem, Jamal Jabari taking down Cloud9, taking down Stromboli, and now taking down Kenobi and Rogue. Unbelievable.
Man, Mama didn't raise a quitter. I'm going to tell you that right now. Jamal Jabari bringing it back from down 2-0, getting the reverse sweep, taking out Cloud9, taking out Stromboli, and finally finishing it off with Rogue. What a great series from them to be able to adjust, to be able to come back, and to make the most of their opportunities against a team that you know they have to be able to do it.
Unbelievable. Vod, please join us. I would love to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah.
What a start to the day.
I mean, the insane thing about it is chat was memeing the whole time about it, saying that, oh, they just doubting Jamal Jabari that entire time, especially when it was 2-up in Rogue's favor. Then a full reverse sweep. Last two games, all of the goals were by Spider. He just popped off. And it wasn't just alone. His teammates helped support him the entire time. It was amazing to see the comeback from them. Rogue, they still weren't any close to quitting throughout the entire series either. They put in the work. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough there, and maybe it's just kind of the nerves of playing with a new member of their roster. Hunted, how do you feel this roster did, even though they took the L there in that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they played pretty well as a team, specifically towards the end of Game 3. I know that show talked a lot about it, where they were finding the passes with one another. They just couldn't finish out that game. But, you know, dropping in a reverse sweep style to a team like Jamal Jabari, and you can't take anything away from them, but it's got to be kind of a bit of a hit for Rogue. I'm not going to make any kind of assumptions. I think I still need to see more of Turin Turo in the lineup to see how that fits. But, you know, I don't think, obviously this is not the result they wanted, but hopefully they're going to go back and take a look and see just what exactly went wrong. It looked like it was all Rogue after those first 2 games, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call, and I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make it.
Yeah, it really was. And I, you know, one of the differences was Turin Turo came off the dominance in Game 3, and you know, when he got to the Octane, they didn't win a single game. So you know, maybe you should stick to that dominance card. You know, we didn't talk about it much, but there was definitely a switch there. But
that
no,
might be it. Sometimes it's card changes.
Yeah, it is card changes. But no, I think it was just Jamal's resiliency, man. Like Hunted had talked about in Game 2. That was such a heart-wrenching loss to give up those kickoff goals like that. That any lesser team would have definitely folded right there. That would have been a 3-0 sweep. But they just pulled up their bootstraps and they got right back to work, and were able to go through the end of the series and take it back. Man, what a series from them.
What a great series at that. And you even mentioned it yourself, Shope, at the beginning of this one, not to count out Jamal and Jabari, because they're the team that seemed to want it more than Rogue. They went into it, left everything out on the field, and came out with the win at the end of the day. Moving on to the Spring Series event for North America this weekend. It's going to be great to see them compete against the likes of G2 Esports, Vanguard, formerly known as Ghost, Space Station Gaming, as well as NRG Esports. And it's just been insane to see how some of these teams in these kind of tournaments, this is what I love about these tournaments, is it introduces talent that you wouldn't really see in a typical rival series or RLCS that might take a while to come to fruition when you have to go through the entire system. Now you get to see how they fare against the top teams, and so far what we've seen has been amazing from Jamal Jabari. They're going to hopefully do even more in this weekend to come, but we still have so many more matches. The next one on the docket, 72 PC versus Charlotte Phoenix. Going to be another great qualifying matchup. Again, that one, the winner makes it to the Spring Series and guaranteed at least $13,000. A lot on the line for these teams. We'll be right back after a short 5-minute break, so don't go anywhere. This is Rival Esports presenting you the Rocket League Spring Series North American Closed Qualifiers.